Welcome everybody back to. Oh, wow, I started early. Welcome everybody back to the Cauldron Chat. I am the Cauldron Witch, and again we have with us featuring Rowan. Rowan, how are you today?
I am the supreme. That's all you have to know.
That's right, and hands to it. Hands to it. So, Rowan, would you like to tell the people this episode what we are talking about, what we are going to discuss on the Cauldron Chat?
The differences between deities, land spirits, ancestors, um, what they basically are, uh, and our experiences with them.
Period. I love that. Okay, that was nice. All right. So, I mean, so land spirits, ancestors, and gods. What are they? Well, I think we can most definitely agree that they are they are all individual energies. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Active energies that are separate from our consciousness, that are separate from our being. Though I guess
Mm-hmm.
some would actually want to argue that. In my opinion and in my experiences and practice, that's how deities are viewed. Um, yeah, I work with two deities. I work with many ancestors and land spirits. They, depending on the land spirits and they are the same as my ancestors, but obviously not always.
Mm-hmm. Now, would you include saints in that? Would you say saints are ancestors, or are they on a different level than an ancestor?
Personally, in my practice, the saints are the same as the ancestors, and the saints are in the Bible. They were people that roamed the earth. You know, they
Mm-hmm.
were one and the same as all the humans out there, and they are the only difference is now that they are dead and they are passed on. You know, they are with the ancestors.
Maybe not in like a blood sense, because every person that works with saints may not be of that lineage that that saint is. Maybe
Or they-
what's that like? Um, to me, the more idea of an ancestor is somebody that has come before you that is of your blood. But there's also ancestors that can also be not of
Okay,
your blood,
yes,
but considered ancestors. So there's ancestors of lineage, and maybe this is more of ancestor of what,
of
like.
like just like the like okay, because when I speak on the ancestors, right, the ancestors is a collective word grouping many different types of spirits together, be it spirits of, yes, blood and lineage, of familial bonds. It is spirits that like witches before us, the pagans before us, that has created these crooked paths for us to walk on. Um and again, ancestors like just like special folk that has contributed to our practices today, you know.
Mhm.
When I speak on the ancestors, for me it's a collective of my family, previous witches that has come before us, and spirits that I have respect for and that I, make friends with along on my journey.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
that's why, like, again, like viewing, and and depending on the saints we're even talking about, because some saints can be like some saints have been known to have been gods before. When Christianity came over, spirits, or I mean saints like Saint Bridget was once the deity, can be revered
Mhm.
as the deity, the god, the Celtic goddess Bridget.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
You could also see that more recently with the Santísima Muerte, where you can see where she was an Aztec deity, now more so found in a Catholic sense.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. They have these spirits have kind of like how I like to say, like, the horned god needed a way to survive in the new Christian world, and he did it by disguising himself as the devil, being the bad guy in the story. That way he gets a big role, and his stories survive in some fashion,
Mm-hmm.
leaving for those who are curious to discover more and more as they do their research. um Again, I mean, when I work with four saints in particular. I work with Saint Peter, Saint Anthony, Saint Lucy, and Saint Bridget. I mean, Saint Barbara, not Saint Bridget, I'm sorry. Saint Barbara. And again, when I work with them, I view them just kind of like I would view them as like how I view my grandmother, who's passed on, or my great grandmother, my just my um further on ancestors, just from way way back.
Hmm.
Um, yeah,
Now, when it comes to the differences between like a land spirit and an ancestor and a deity, do you feel like sometimes, let's say for example, an ancestor in a working might manifest faster than if you were calling on a deity because of how close they are to the plane of existence? Like for example, I feel like an ancestor or like the spirit of a deceased human being that has been here before might be closer to us and might have understood the problem at hand and
right.
might manifest faster than a deity who has never really known the struggle of an individual.
Of a
You know
human,
what
right?
I of a human, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, see, I guess that always just depends too, because you can think of like, maybe depending on like like the relationship one has, say like one's very close
Uh-huh.
with a deity, but not so much with their ancestors. I
Uh-huh.
mean, and then again, I don't know, because in my practice, to be honest, I combine the both powers of both. You know what I mean? So speaking on that myself, I really wouldn't be able to know. Though I
Uh-huh.
could understand that because yes, past on spirits who have lived a human life understand the desire and the need and wants, of a human and of why most people do witchcraft. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Um, so especially it's I mean, of course, with key factor that especially if there was a good relationship there, because again, if one doesn't have a good relationship with their grandmother and like in ancestral form, but they have a really good connection with, let's say, Caradwin,
Uh-huh.
Caradwin might manifest quicker than that grandmother, you know, but
Right, right, right.
if that relationship is there, then I could understand and see how that would work. Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah, it's
then
like
again, combining the power of both. Yeah,
yeah, it's like it is with almost anything. It varies individual to individual
absolutely.
and practice to practice.
Hmm.
Now, considering that, of course, the ideas of, let's say, for example, let's go into deities, because deities is a very big topic all the time, especially to
Hmm.
people who are trying to figure out who their
Who?
deities might.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Now, I know there's a lot of people that would consider a deity as more of a personification or a. We were discussing this
An
earlier.
energy.
More of an energy. Of course, they all are energy, but
Energy. Yes. Like
more
more
of like
like
yeah, a collection of
yeah, like a
energy,
metaphor.
a
Right.
metaphor, not so much an individualistic energy with wants, needs, desires,
Yeah.
likes, and dislikes, as compared
Right.
to
One with personality.
us who believe deities as their own individual, like being with free thought and free will like us. So it's like comparing, is it a figurehead or is it the person itself or the energy itself with its own desires? It's kind of a hard thing to try to put into words what I'm trying to describe.
No, I understand what you're saying. No, I
It's like
understand what you're
saying,
saying.
yeah, it's like saying,
It's like
it's,
see, because again, like you said, we've talked about this before, and like I mentioned before, and I was gonna bring this up today, and I do have a couple of questions written down that people have asked me, so I do have that we can discuss as well.
mm-hmm,
But I will say that when I first when I first when me and Hecate first started working with each other, right? And I say that because it's not like I went to Hecate seeking a deity, and it's not necessarily like it was easy for, I mean, like maybe, like, I don't know, but like it wasn't like Hecate called me and I answered the phone, When
yeah,
because she founded me, I like to say. She chose me, I never once was like, oh, let me go work with the goddess Hecate. At the time she was calling to me, I did not believe in gods. I just came out of Christianity. I had a very bad relationship with deity just in general. And at the time, I was I'm a pagan. And with paganism, deities are like hearsay, whether they're there or not isn't even important. It's about nature, you know what I mean? And the cycles of nature and the elements and everything. So that was my religion. That was my practice. The universe, Earth was my deity. And that to me was real. You know what I understood? Gods were not real to me. Hecate kept calling on to me. And after a while of when she basically gave me no choice, I like to say, because you know, when she gave me no choice.
Mm-hmm.
And and I mean that in all good ways, by the way, nothing bad. But I tried to convince myself that I was like, okay, you know what, fine. If gods are real, if deities are real, then it's not like they're individual beings. They're just energies. They're like, like Hecate represents all of these kinds of energies. That the energy that Hecate is. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like for example, like Pan would be the collective energy of the wild, of fertility, sexuality, love, lust, nature, of the beast. He would be
Mm-hmm.
that collective energy. And instead of him just being Pan, an individual.
Right.
And eventually, in my practice and in my experiences, Hecate herself has honestly smashed that belief and has,
Mm-hmm.
and in many ways, and with other deities as well, has shown me that they, in my practice and in my experiences, they do definitely have their own personalities, their own individual ideas, wants, desires, preferences, choices. They have their own journeys, experiences. They go through it as much as we do on their own level of existence, of God
Mm-hmm.
status. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
I truly believe that they are, like, yes, in that individual sense, where Hecate is a deity named Hecate. Like, yes, she's real, she's out there, just like Zeus is out there, Poseidon is out there, Jesus is out there, Mother Mary is out there, Caradwin is, you know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
like spirits, spirits are the soul and spirit of a person that was.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What was I gonna say? Definitely, I've always felt that deities, yeah, they're their own individualistic people with their, not people, you know what I mean, with their own thoughts,
Yeah.
desires, wants, even like the primordial gods that you hear about in Greek mythology, like Nyx being darkness, the night itself. So
Right.
when you walk outside in the darkness, you are enveloped in Nyx herself.
Mm-hmm.
But
No, I definitely, yeah, I also do, yes, see that, 100% agree with that.
mhm.
Have experienced that, you know what I
Or
mean?
even you could see it with the ocean. Ugh, excuse me. You could see it with
Exactly.
the ocean being a vast body of water. But say, for example, um, Oceanus being that body of water itself. Do you remember the movie Moana?
Hmm.
The movie
I never
Moana.
saw it.
Well, for those who have saw Moana,
That was after my time.
it really wasn't.
It so was, but okay.
You're never too old for Disney. But anyway, well, that's a
You're
lie.
never too
Uh,
old for Disney. You're right.
um,
I think I tried to see. I never finished it, but I saw Encanto. But you're right. You're never
oh,
too old.
I love Encanto. But in Moana, the ocean is the ocean vast, you know. But in some of the scenes, the ocean is like got its own personality. Like it has the
Right.
waves jump
Mm-hmm.
up.
Mm-hmm.
Little Moana's walking towards the beach and almost drowns. The water picks it up, turns around, and sends her on her way, like being the primordial being itself with its own personality.
Right.
That's kind of how I see it. Now,
No, I definitely do see energies like that. Like mother, like there is, like for example, like I see there's both, because there is, like for example, I've told you about, like with mother, like we've had this discussion with like mother nature and like the horned god, you know, there's the
Yeah,
collective energy that does exist of the primordial mother nature and horned god, you know, but then there's also the individuals like Pan, Chrononos, Hern, all being horned gods, all being horned deities, but they're on an individual level, but they're still all the horned one, the horned god, the
right.
witch father.
Like we were having a discussion about Gaia. Gaia being the earth itself, the crust of the earth that you're walking on, the trees,
Right.
the natures, but also then in the energetic sense, when you're working with Gaia, her own personality and stuff like that. Now,
Mm.
would you say that
Oh, Jesus. I just got flashed with a bunch of light in my eye. Excuse me.
now
I'm
would you
sorry.
now would you say that ancestors and maybe land spirits are more responsive than deities?
Depends on. See, okay, because now there's a question I have that's written down that's like, you know, what are the different types of land spirits, and do you believe is there a different type of like a difference between these types of land spirits? And you know,
Yeah.
depending on spirits, you know, some may say like, you know, the fae might not be so easy to, you know, want to speak with human, or like the elementals might not be so eager at first to commune with us, but then after, you know, some respect shown, you know, maybe some dedication after some time, again, it just, you know, it depends. It depends on the person, how things are going. But do I think that is like an option? Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. I think land spirits sometimes is all some people have. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Now, when it comes to
Oh
like you
no,
were,
did I lose? Oh, sorry.
no, you're still there. Like you were saying that different kinds of land spirits. Now, I kind of think that there's the spirits of the land being the people who have lived, like human beings that have lived and passed on that same land that you're on, and then the spirits of the land, which is
Mm-hmm.
the trees, the plants, the grass, the earth itself. So I guess you could say spirits of the land and then ancestors of the land. That's how I would put it, maybe.
Hello, James. I mean,
It's
Rowan.
whatever. Whatever. I don't care.
I'm sorry.
Kevin. Um,
No, yeah, it's fine. They know my name.
Kevin. Well, what am I supposed to call you? Cauldron? Hey, Cauldron.
No, literally, yeah. Do not call me that.
Or I could call you the. Hey, the.
Hey, the what's up, the?
So what was I saying? Oh yeah,
I
yeah. The
don't know. I
differences
think
in
I
the
cut
land
out for a
spirits.
second.
Yeah, being the ancestors of the land, the people that have lived in that same area years before, and then the spirits of the land, which is the trees, the grass, the rocks, the plants, everything.
Yes. Yes. No, that's exactly what I was going to also go into. That like land spirits, however, are also the spirits of, yes, the land, the nature, you know, the water, the trees, the herbs, the grass, everything. But there's also, you know, there's the spirits that are there. You know, where I live, it's a very old place. It's a very spirited place with high activity of even like even of otherworldly beings, but that's besides the point. That's, I feel like, kind of going off topic.
Mm-hmm.
But there is, yeah, like there is definitely spirits that are attuned so much to nature and to the land that they are like they become like watchers and the guardians of the land. When I tap into the spirits here, I definitely sense that and see spirits here, that like that's kind of like their role, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. As like the guardians of that area.
Yes, like like, yeah, like they're here to protect, they're here to watch and oversee, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I definitely see, and I mean, of course, in all mythologies and all cultures around the earth, there are each individual. what people call spirits of the land, but I'm sure the ones that people learn about mostly is when it comes to the Greek mythology of the dryads that are of the trees, and then the nymphs, because you have the nymphs of the air, you have the nymphs of the creeks, you have nymphs of valleys, you have nymphs of really almost everything.
Everything, yeah.
Yeah, nymphs that are of a certain place. Um, Nymphs that follow goddesses, especially Hecate on her midnight wanderings. Hecate had her nymphs were called lampades, which carried her torches for her.
Hmm.
Um, Dionysus had his maenads, which were a subgroup of nymphs as well. As so you can see in every different kind of region and valley, creek, prairie, desert, there's a nymph land spirit of something.
Yeah, no, that's definitely, and that all ties in with like, yeah, like again, like the spirits of the land. Not
Mm-hmm,
only are they, again, not only are they going to be like elementals or like spirits of like Newman, like spirits of like rosemary, of rue, of fern, of lemongrass, but
mm-hmm,
spirits of like otherworldly spirits like nymphs, like stuff like that, where like they again like they are there to protect and to serve and to be a part of and to nurture and care for the land while it's still here. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm. Now, when it comes to land spirits, ancestors, deities, I guess just throw saints in there as well. How would the offerings and the protocols differ?
Well,
That's a hard hitting question, huh?
that is, but that's again when it comes to the gods, that
It's
it just
easier.
that yeah, that's because it just depends on the gods. I'm not gonna tell you what to offer a deity; they'll tell you what to offer them.
Or and also you can also go into historical texts and be like,
Yeah, exactly. Like
oh,
Hecate has been known,
Aphrodite. Yeah, Aphrodite was traditionally offered incense, roses, apples, strawberries, wine. You can find that almost anywhere. Zeus
right?
was offered bread,
The way
wine,
you said
olive
that,
oil.
bread,
Y'all got any bread?
bread. Let me get that bread.
Have you ever
Um,
seen that meme before, where it's like two people having some fun in a park, if you know what I mean?
yeah,
And
I know what
there's
you
a and there's a duck looking saying, y'all got any bread?
y'all got any? Yeah, I've seen that. Y'all got any bread?
Y'all
That's
got any bread?
exactly what you sounded like.
Because
You
I
just
don't
posted
remember
up
what,
on two people like y'all got any bread? Nah,
or let's
like that
say,
one actor who played in Coven, and like he was like the small guy
oh, he
when
got
he was like,
the
"What are y'all doing? Screwing?"
oh wow, what are y'all doing? Yeah, I know him. I love him. Or
Oh my god, I
rest in
love him.
peace.
Rest in peace. Yeah, for real. But anyway, back to what the hell.
Or
Oh.
say for example Hecate, Hecate likes her
It likes her eggs,
traditionally
honey.
traditionally was red mullet.
Yeah, it's red mullet. There's another type of fish I forget, but yeah, there's fish,
Snapper, I think.
puppies.
Let's not get into that.
Let's not get into that, but yeah.
How you gonna
Um.
first of all, how you gonna say Hecate's a lover of dogs and then kill one? Like put a
Okay.
box in the grave
Well, their
first.
spirit goes straight to Hecate, and she cares for them. It's all good.
Alright, well we're not killing so we're not killing.
Did you just drop me?
What?
Oh, it sounded like you dropped the phone or something.
No.
Okay. All right. Okay.
That was
Let's see.
me dropping the mic.
Okay. So
Um
I have this question, and I want to talk about it while we're talking about land spirits. The question is, have you ever experienced a land spirit?
ooh. I'm trying to get back. I'm trying to filter through the storybooks of my memory. Um,
What'd you say? You got a memory book? What?
I'm trying to filter through the memory books in my brain
Oh,
and
okay.
see if I have a
Right,
story.
right, right.
Um, have I
Oh, by
ever-
the way, You have to definitely make more of those cookies. I told you, right?
Which ones?
The oatmeal raisin.
Yeah, I have. You've talked about that all day.
Yeah, no, yeah, because, yeah.
Yeah, my secret ingredient.
Yeah, I told her, and she was like, I respect that so much, and yes, keep it in the family. She was like, but if I can get more, I want more of it.
You know what the funny thing is? It's not even a family recipe. I found that shit online.
No, I know, but it's not her business. We'll just leave it alone.
If I- if anybody asks, it is a family recipe.
Did you add the secret ingredient or no?
No,
Oh my god. Rohan, you're awful. You're like, there's a
I
secret
mean,
ingredient.
I'm very like we're getting off topic, but who cares? I'm very protective. If I find a recipe that I like, I automatically just like I have a cheesecake that I make that everybody goo goo gagas over, and I found that shit on YouTube.
Oh my
and
god.
and the freaking secret ingredient is not really that much of a secret,
I
but
love
everybody just loves it.
I love that. No, it's just the fact that we say it's a secret, it makes people like go crazy.
Right.
Everyone loves a good secret.
My secret ingredient is love.
Right, right. Yo, I would oh my god, I would be so angry.
Like Salt Bay. But
Okay, anyway, yeah, so so back to the topic. Have you had any experiences?
um when it comes to spirits of the land, no, not really, because I've never really interacted with them as much until I have now,
Mm-hmm.
which going back into the different protocols and offerings you would give for each one. For me, whatever I offer to the spirits of the land in general, it's always been incense.
Oh my god, me
So,
too. I was gonna say because one of my biggest things, but I'll tell you about that when I'm talking. Go ahead.
yeah, because I feel like incense is just a generic offering for anything.
No, I mean facts. Everyone loves a good fragrance. Let's be honest.
Right. And of course, it's the energy of the incense itself, burning, rising, carrying its prayers. Because when it comes to me offering to deities, I often, because a lot of my little practice now is more so Hellenic polytheist.
Uh huh.
And so in a communal, like them all together, I'll burn incense outside to the gods of Olympus. Like I usually got like three or four, or maybe even five sticks of incense just to make it really smoky, and
Hmm.
I'll light it and be like, to the mighty deathless gods of Olympus, blah 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 blah. I offer this incense. May it reach you on the mountains of Olympus.
I love that. I fucking love that. Yeah. No. So I do. So, um, personally with land spirits, I actually have quite a few experiences because I have a very good relationships. Well, I have a very good relationship with my land spirits that are here. Not all of them, I might add,
Mm-hmm.
but most of them, yes. I would say more so out of than not. But some of them are just downright mean and ugly. But we're not gonna care. They were here before me, and they leave me alone if I leave them alone. So deal. Um, however, when I offer them spirits, I mean, when I offer them incense, I like go outside. I have this cauldron right outside my front door, and it's like filled with dirt, and it's like there's holes at the bottom, so there's no mold or anything. It doesn't like it's just draining all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll
Mm-hmm.
stick like a bunch of incense in the dirt and say like for the spirits of the land, for the spirits of the ancestors, and for the spirits of the gods, I offer this incense. Blah blah blah. May it reach miles and miles from here. May it please your senses. May you enjoy the fragrance. May you have love with it. Blah blah blah. Accept it kindly and blessed be. Mwah. You know. Um. So when I go into my woods, I frankly see a lot of flying spirits. I don't want to say they're fairies because I don't know exactly what they are. They could be sylphs, they could be nymphs, they could be I don't know. They could be anything. I'm not gonna just be like, oh, you're small and flying around, you're a fairy. Like, no. There definitely there's definitely spirits out there. There's definitely fairy mounds out there that I also do go to and experience. I don't work with them, but There's only been one time I've worked with the spirits of the land specifically, and I've blessed my ring that I wear outside to keep me grounded. I've had them
Mm-hmm.
bless it in the inside like a trunk of a tree overnight.
Okay. I like that.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, I love. hmm and it was actually on a fairy mound, so it was like including all of them. But I left, my offerings and stuff. I don't want anything following me back that don't want to f with me, Um, but I mean, I've had also experiences like anytime I meditate out in the woods, the spirits will come to me, and like they love it when I meditate out there, and they always tell me I don't do it enough, and they always want me to come back sooner rather than later. There
Mm-hmm.
is a gentleman spirit that is across the creek, because for those who don't know where I live, there's a creek that runs right next to me, and it runs for miles, and it's very large, and I'm literally, my property is on one side and another person's property is on another, and there's a older gentleman spirit out there that hangs out and sits by the creek, though he like minds his own business. I don't really say like he works magic with me or anything like that. He tends to stick to his own side. Yeah,
He's
but
just more
other
like
than
a spectator.
yeah, I don't even know if he's actually like, you know, of my property, but he is again of the land, so that's all that matters.
There's
Um,
no telling what part of the land he's from, because if he hangs out by the creek a lot, water is a portal.
exactly. He can literally just be, yeah. Who knows? But yeah. So I mean, other than that, I mean, I have had other experiences with like I don't even know if I would call them land spirits, but I've had like I told you earlier, like how I like ended up creating like golems, or like you had a good word for it earlier.
Servitor.
Yeah, I would create those, and then I had a negative experience with them because I created them out of bad juju, and they ended up, surprise, surprise, being bad juju, and
Well, I
they
wonder
like
why.
was being mean to me, so I had to get rid of them.
Mm-hmm.
They were being very bad and misbehaving, and I think they even started affecting my neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was just bad juju. They needed to go, so I had to disperse and dispel all of them, which made me low key kind of sad, but it's okay. It's whatever.
It's a learning experience. Now, there was also
Yes,
something.
it was definitely a learning experience.
Yeah. Now,
Definitely, if
there.
you're gonna create stuff like that out of baneful energy, you really need to control it before it controls you.
Yep. Because if you're gonna want
Just a
to know
warning
how
out
to,
there.
if you're gonna put it up, you got to know how to put it down.
I'm
Now, there
sorry?
was also. I said, if you're gonna want to put it up, you got to learn how to put it down. As if, when you create something, you got to know how to get rid of it.
Yes, and yes, definitely know how to do that.
Now, there was also another kind of spirit that we were talking about earlier, the spirits of the home, like
Oh, yes.
the
Oh my
spirits
God.
of the house, the spirits of the living dwelling. Now, I believe that every home has its own spirit, its own energy, its own. It gains a consciousness. Now, not to me, if it's a new house, like a new build, I don't really think it has much of a spirit as it's been built. But once a family moves in and starts living there and starts its daily routines, especially when it comes to a witch that lives in the house, and the magic just permeates in the dwelling, I
Balls.
believe it starts adding energy and it starts becoming its own thing. Now, for example, for me, who's someone who has lived in the same house for over 20 years, um, and we've had, good times, bad times, prosperous times, non-prosperous times, happiness, sadness, all of that energy collects, and the house has its own dwelling, and then the ancestors that occur, and all of that thing, it just makes it more palpable, I feel like.
Right.
Now, when I read a lot. I read a lot of about anything really, but when it comes to again Hellenic polytheism, their spirit of the home was called the Agathos daemon, which was represented by a snake, and he was the spirit of the home. Um, Now, what were you saying in the Slavic?
I believe in the Slavic lore they call it the Domovic. I could be butchering that. Like I'm not by any means an expert. Please ignore me. But I believe in the Slavic tradition they call it the Domovic or something like that. And it is the house. It is the spirit of the house. He is seen as like this little gremlin, troll looking like guy. He's like an old, short guy with like a long beard, and he dwells inside or like behind the oven.
Mm-hmm.
And they also have another type of spirit like that inside, like what they back then they would have like bathhouses that would be like by water, you know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
it'll either be like personal or communal. And those bathhouses also had a spirit. I forgot what that was called, but it was the brother of the Domovic.
Oh, okay.
So, and he would appear, I believe, naked with like his like body hair like covering him, you
So
know.
the Banjovic.
Yeah, I think so. Wait, was that a joke?
Yes.
Okay, because no, I'm serious. I think it even starts with a B and everything.
Oh,
No, leave me alone. I think it does. I'd have to check. Probably not. Maybe I'm
get
just
it? Get
not
it? You get
smart.
it? Banjovic.
No.
Baño means bath in Spanish. Okay, whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Well. Anyway.
you know it's a bad joke when you have to explain it.
Exactly.
I thought it was pretty hilarious.
No,
So whoever,
honestly, I know a lot of people watching this laughed. I just don't speak Spanish.
ay, pobrecito.
Oh,
Um,
oh, okay.
Damn it, you throw me off
Um.
track.
Yes, but no. Anyway, so
Had the
yes, no, they do
Domovic.
have that in
Um,
Slavic tradition. They have that in a lot of tradition and a lot of cultures where, yeah, the home develops its own spirit, and whether it's something like how in Slavic tradition where it's a spirit inside of the home, in other traditions it's the home itself, like how you were saying, like with the ocean, the vast ocean being
mm-hmm,
like like having its own consciousness. It's
mm-hmm.
kind of like that. Um, um,
Now I know in some traditions, the house is considered the most important, space, and often it's represented as being the temple itself, the home being the temple. That in some traditions, at the door of the house, it is fed blood.
yes,
That the door of the house is kept clean, that it's fed, um, that it's taken care of as being the spirit itself, and as the door frame is reinforced, so is the house. So feeding the spirit of the house through the door, which I guess would be technically, I guess, you could say the mouth, I guess, and then I guess you could say the heart would be the kitchen, the hearth fire.
yes. Back then they like that's why again going back to the Slavic tradition, they the home spirit would dwell behind the oven because yeah, that would be where like the pitch, you know, the hearth, the fireplace.
Mm-hmm. And you see, of course, deities of the hearth as well. Like for Greeks, it was Hestia. Um, wasn't it also Brigid who was the goddess of the hearth too?
Yes, yes.
Brigid.
Yep.
Um,
They would keep the bridges crossed above the hearth as well, I think.
mhm. And Roman pantheon, it was Vesta.
Yep. Yep. Hmm.
And then there was always the deity of the hearth and then the spirit of the house.
I do have some deity questions written down as well.
Okay.
um Best experience with a deity.
Uh-huh.
um Personally, oh, best experience I've had with my deities. Um, well, one I'm not going to discuss because, personal reasons. However, that I will say, like, I'm not even gonna speak on that one. However, I will speak on when I met Hecate, when I was meditating and Hearn guided me through the forest and led me to Hecate's cave, and I met
Mm-hmm.
Hecate inside. That was probably my best experience ever,
Mm-hmm.
like in a million years. Um, that's when she told me that she wanted me to get a devotional piece tattoo of a snake, and that's why I have Hecate's dagger with a snake wrapped around it on my leg because she walks with
Mm-hmm.
me everywhere I go.
Mm-hmm. Your
Um,
snake.
my snake. That is
I'm
so funny. Oh my god.
a sneaky little sneak
What
snake.
about you? Do you have any like? What's your best experience with deity? Do you have one like a story you can share?
Let me see. Maybe not so much with my own deities, but when I had a friend who is really thinking about Lilith,
Uh huh.
um, and for some reason all of her signs would go through me. I don't know why, but she was really thinking about Lilith. She was kind of, you know, dipping her toe into it. And there was one day she was asking me about it, what I thought, and I was like, well, just keep your eyes open for any signs. I go to the fucking grocery store and I'm sitting there texting her about it. I look in front of me. The person's car in front of me, their back license plate said Lilith.
Lilith, that's so cool.
And like dead ass, that is like, I wish I took a picture. I don't know why I didn't take a picture of it, but it literally said Lilith.
Does that person work with Lilith today?
No, she
Okay.
she doesn't really work with any deities. You know this
Okay.
person. You know this person. You talked
Oh,
to her yesterday.
okay. I know this person. I know this person. I know who we're talking about. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. 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 All right. So, okay,
But yeah.
going back to, and I love this person, but anyway, going back to, um, can Uh, can you experience a deity you are not? You just answered this question. Can you experience a deity you are not devoted to?
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah. You could experience any deity at any time
Mm-hmm.
if they feel so inclined to make you
Inclined
feel
to.
them.
Right. I don't think I've actually had any experience with any other deity before.
And I just want to put this out here. You do
But
not have to wait for a deity to call you.
that's so true. Listen,
You do
just
not have to.
because there is, I don't care, because they some traditions say that that is the only true way. Bullshit. There's no such thing as the only true way. That's lies. They are straight up lying to you and just want you to follow their way. Bullshit. Okay. No.
If
There
you're
is,
going,
yes.
yeah,
If you have an interest, sometimes just your interest alone is so strong that it's like I don't know why I have this interest. That's them calling you. That can just
right.
be them calling you. It's not, so not everybody's gonna get the whole live theater play for signs and messages. You know what I mean? It
And
it's
mhm,
and it really doesn't happen. I mean, and if it does, be grateful and blessed, and I'm sure it will at some point or another. It just, it's just sometimes, again, just the wanting and the desire to want to know more and the connection you feel could be that deity calling you already.
mhm, mhm. Because there are certain cases where I'm sure somebody is picked by a deity, and that's awesome. I love that. But if you wake up one day and you're like, I really like, I wanna say the name of a god or goddess that doesn't get a lot of credit. Hera. I want to work with Hera.
Yeah, I love Hera. Thank you for saying that.
hmm But I haven't received any signs that pertain to Hera. Um, I haven't really felt Hera. Okay, then get you a candle, get you some simple offering, and invoke Hera and be like, hey, Hera, I find you very interesting. I would like to have a devotional relationship with you. And I would say it's very rare when a deity says no. They're deities,
Right.
honestly. They especially the Greek
They love
deities,
a good
the Greek
devotee.
deities wanted worship. So
Yeah.
Harold will probably be like, "All right, let's see how it works." And then you show that if you walk into working with a deity, they know they can sense what's in your heart. And if they sense in your heart that you
Yeah,
truly want to have a relationship with them just because you want to have a relationship with them, it's okay. You're
right.
good. You're
And
Gucci, especially
sometimes
someone
you
like Hera.
really And sometimes you really do just got to make that like that call out and that reach out. Maybe
Yeah.
they're just waiting for you. Like I said, maybe they haven't done like a whole lot to show you they want you. You just have that interest, like that candle call out, and then next thing you know, boom, your fire, your small candle flame just turned into a torch. I don't know what happened, but you do.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing you know, you feel this presence of this godlike, gigantic energy surrounding you. Just go with what you are into, and the least influence, the better. Remember that the only influence you ever need is you and spirit alone, period, point blank. Don't go
Mm-hmm.
to your peers or your family or your friends or watch this video. No, 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 like whatever you feel, whatever you want, whatever you're interested in, go do it, as long as you're not murdering in cold blood.
Right. Dead ass.
Right.
Right.
Right. Anyway, um,
I mean, and
okay.
and when it comes to
Can
dating, anything that you do with like a pureness of heart, it's gonna be accepted. I kind of think of it in this way: is like when you're a baby and you find a rock on the ground and you're like, I really want to give this to mommy. And you take the rock and give it to mommy, and she's like, oh, thank you. But in the back of her head, she's like, I don't want this.
I lost you a little bit, but are you talking about offerings?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I was
thought
going off. Going off on a tangent. Um, yeah, like when you're a kid, you find something shiny on the ground, like a bottle cap. You give it to your mom, and she's like, "Oh, thank you. That's very sweet." But in the back of the head, she's like, "I don't
no.
want this."
Yeah, no. It's like when you pick up like the dandelions from the ground. Your mom's not
Hmm.
gonna keep every single damn dandelion. I mean, depending on the mom, they just might, I don't know, good to you. Then maybe they'll keep the first one or the first two or the first three, and then at some point they're like, damn it, kid, you're chewing up the grass.
You chewing up the ground?
You're chewing up the grass. You're like a cow. Now there's
Man,
bald spots in the front yard. Get
it's the
your ass
last.
inside.
It's the last dandelion. Wow, you never watched Ice Age?
No, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I was reading the question. We are on our last question.
The last dandelion.
Oh my god, no, but that was, yes, exactly. The lion. No, you do a better sloth
I
voice than
do.
me.
I
Yeah.
do. They left me. They left me.
Exactly. Perfect.
Why? Why does nobody love me?
I love that. All right. So the last question I have written down is: do you leave offerings to land spirits?
You can. Would I do something like a whole feast to them? Probably not, but something simple. Like
Right.
incense is my favorite. Pouring water into the ground, or even another form of libation. Milk mixed with honey,
Mm-hmm.
grape juice, wine, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Just not blood.
even a candle, simple prayer.
Yeah. No. Yeah. With land spirits, they are they are like the spirits that, again, like like for me in my practice, you want to give offerings to them, you want to show respect to them. You're coming onto their land. It's not like it's the other way around, you know what I mean? And
Right.
working in a magical world, working a magical life, they can easily influence you negatively if you do not have your setups right, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And let's be honest, we're witches, but we're also human. Sometimes we don't have the constant barrier up that we should normally, and
Mm-hmm.
you just don't want bad blood. You don't want disrespect. You don't want to start coming up here on their land, working magics and doing like asking spirits for this and that, and not showing any kind of respect to who's there and what you're working with, you know what I mean?
Right. Mm-hmm.
They're also, with that being said, not spirits you want to like devote yourself to, I would think. And you don't
No.
want to give your blood or anything like that. You don't want to make pacts or something like that with them. They aren't land spirits. still, in a sense, is it's not like your ancestors that are close to you. They can become that, but understand that would still mean they're your spirits even when you leave that land. Not every spirit is going to do that. Some spirits only working with you because you're in that land geographically. Once you
Hmm.
leave, they're not sticking with you. Those aren't spirits you want a lifelong blood pact with. You know what I mean? Depending on your practice, again, do with what you feel is right. I'm personally not doing that. My blood goes to my spirits. Again, do some of the land spirits become my spirits? Yes. Become my ancestors? Yes. Not all of them, not everyone, not even most of them.
Hmm.
But yes, when it comes to leaving offerings, that's something like you just move into like this new area, leave offerings for the spirits of the land. Leave offerings for the spirits of the house even.
Right. Because at that point, it's gonna be like another boundary around you.
Exactly. You do want that, like, because God forbid something happens to you. It's better they like you than they don't like you. You know what I mean? It's better they fight with you than against you.
Period.
Because sometimes, maybe I know somebody that I'm at cross ends with, and I know where they stay, and I know those spirits don't like her or him. That sounded so personal. I swear to God, it wasn't. That sounded so personal. I swear it wasn't. But I can easily get those spirits to turn on that person. You know, again, have
Damn
a
it,
good.
Patty! I told you to get off my grass.
Damn it, Carol! Oh, my phone.
Carol Baskins
Oh
killed
my
her
God.
husband, whacked him.
Oh my God.
Carol Baskin.
Oh my
I'm
God.
gonna devote myself to the spirit of Carol Baskins.
Stop it. Oh my God, that was hilarious. The That had the world by a chokehold, swear to God.
Or like Gypsy Rose. I'm
Oh my
on a
God,
high right
yes.
now.
I think she was, I could be wrong, but I think she was on the news, and all I heard my dad was yelling, "Would you people just leave this woman alone?" I'm like, what? She made the news again? I don't know what's happening. I don't follow
You
that
can't bring me down. I'm on a high right now.
stuff. I don't, yeah. But, so, I mean, and deities, again, when it comes to deities, because I feel like we really didn't speak much on deities. Deities, gods, and even when they reach out to you, because, sometimes you might get a call from a deity you're not trying to work with or devote yourself to,
Yeah,
maybe you
you don't
wanna
have to
just
answer
work.
that call.
Yeah, and just because you work with deities doesn't mean you have to devote yourself to deities. My deities are like they prefer like they're like you're my devotee, no one else's. I only have two gods, I only have two deities I work with, and they're like you're mine and mine alone. Like you don't devote yourself to any other gods. They didn't say anything. They have nothing against working with other gods depending on who they are, of course.
Hmm.
But like if I want to invoke Anubis for something real quick, all three of us, as long as it's also all three of us, you know what I
Well, I
mean?
mean, Anubis is a dog, and you know how Hecate likes her dogs.
Okay, all right, all right, all right, all right, all
Come
right.
on, you weren't. Come on, tell me you haven't thought about that.
No, you know what I have thought about? Santa Muerte and Anubis, but we're not gonna talk about that. We're not gonna talk about that. Because I think she would but anyway, minus that. Minus that. Cause let's be real, Santa Muerte got her she's like, girl, let me get some of that. Santa Muerte was trying to
All
get
right,
down and dirty. Nah,
no,
Madrina is trying to
no,
get down and dirty with the dog, yo.
no.
What
Okay,
that
all
told
right.
do? You trying to talk about it,
No,
Rowan. You
Kevin,
wanted to talk
stop.
about it.
This is gonna be
Rowan.
on YouTube. Stop.
Rowan, you wanted to talk about it.
I said that Hecate likes dogs. I didn't say nothing about
Rowan.
Santissima Muerte. Like, why even disrespect her like that?
No, I'm not disrespecting Madrina like that.
Hmm,
Madrina loves me. I love Madrina.
nobody pay attention to him. That's true.
I love Madrina. She got a little personality,
She do, especially with you.
especially with me. Because
She cool.
we talk at girl talk. I just, I spark up and we'll just talk about it.
She cool as a cucumber with me.
Hmm. But yes, yeah. So again, just because you work with, certain deities, again, doesn't mean you have to devote yourself to certain deities. Depending on who they are, as long as your deities are cool, it's all cool.
No, you don't have to devote yourself to nobody if you don't want to.
No, exactly, exactly. But
We've been on the recording for 54 minutes and 40 seconds. We can do until an hour or so for the next, what, 6 minutes? No, yeah,
yeah, for the
six
next
minutes.
6, yeah.
Six
No, yeah,
minutes, yeah.
for the next six
Well,
minutes.
5 minutes now.
So
Um,
yeah, what do you would you like to finish up on?
mm,
This could
we've
be
talked we've talked about a lot of stuff already.
yeah. No, I actually like all the stuff that we've covered. I
hmm
think we did a good job. Yeah, I mean,
I also feel like deities may. mm, Okay, so for example, a lot of people that feel like a devotee of Aphrodite might be as if Aphrodite herself, for example, saying the devotee of Aphrodite might be this voluptuous, over sexualized person that loves makeup and perfume, but in actuality, they might be somebody who is asexual. They might be somebody who doesn't apply themselves to beauty standards. They might be somebody who dresses in a non-conformity of what they are. You know what I mean?
right,
Or, for example, some people have the idea that people who work with Hecate are people that dress in black, wear gothic makeup, or, um, have that kind of vibe to them, where it might be somebody whose whole house is pink and they wear nothing but pink.
right,
I
right.
feel like some people um, feel like if their deity is the representation of one thing, that they have to live up to that deity's standards. And it's definitely not true. Like somebody who works with Apollo, Apollo is represented by,
The sun.
sunflowers, the sun, sunflowers and stuff like that. Meanwhile, he might have a devotee out here that completely hates sunflowers and does not like being caught in daylight.
Right. Oh yeah, no. I definitely think like when it comes to again, you don't have to be. You're not the deities. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You are not. You are you, and what makes you. It's not. Even if it's not the basic, the what's right in front of you that connects you to the deity. Then 9 times out of 10, that's not what it's gonna be. You know what I mean?
Right.
For some people, yeah, but for others, maybe it's not necessarily like the aesthetic, of Apollo. Maybe
Yeah.
you know, you know
Like
what I
for
mean?
example, I works with Santissima and somewhat with Hecate, and with them, they're they might have a lot of bones on their altar and stuff. Meanwhile, I am not a person that goes out there looking for bones. The bones that I have are bones that have been gifted to me by
Yeah,
either you
yeah,
or the Lady Gravedancer. I
yes,
mean, of course, I enjoy the bones that I get from y'all. I just don't go out there and find bones, and I don't go, you know,
yeah. No,
trancing in the woods
I
picking
love
up deer skulls. That's not my
my,
gig.
I love my bones.
Or picking up snake skin. Like, ugh, I see
Uh,
snake skin, I start looking around because like, where's that fucking snake at?
I love my bones. I love my skins. I love it all. I love it
Yeah,
all.
I mean, I like bones. Um, I appreciate the bones that you and the Lady Gravedancer give me because I do use them, but I'm not going out here looking for
Yeah,
them
no, yeah.
myself.
Mm-hmm.
Or the dead bugs that I get from y'all.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm over here. Yeah, no, I am very like I am the type that does wear like all the black. I have bones everywhere. I got serpent candle holders for Hecate. I got I got an alligator head for Santissima Muerte in her cabinet. I have a skull, like like a scalp that holds like her like a charm of hers. I have a lot of dead things in there.
My recent thing that I acquired is a raccoon penis bone.
Yes.
Now that's pretty cool. I don't know what I'm gonna
You
use
can
that
do a
for.
lot of magics with that.
I know you
Yeah.
can. Here, 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 here.
Yeah, you know what to do with that.
Mhm.
You know what to do.
Oh, and I have some kind of claws that Tequila sent me. I think it was
Alligator?
no, they're oh they're on there's it says what they are on the bag, but the bag is out there in my witchy shed, and I don't want to go out there.
Oh, I
I
forgot you
think
were.
they're no, I'm in the house. I think they're bobcat, ethically
Oh, no,
produced. I'm sure.
maybe not.
Mm,
Maybe not. I have like a coyote foot. That's definitely not fake.
um, poor coyote. There's a legless coyote out here somewhere.
I don't know. That coyote's dead. He said, well then.
Poor
That's a
coyote.
coyote.
Coyotes are cute.
I love coyotes. Are you kidding me?
They're basically dogs.
Both my deities love coyotes.
If not friend, why friend shape?
Exactly.
Like
If not cuddly,
dingo.
then why cuddly shape?
If I was in Australia, I would definitely be killed because I would try to pet the dingo.
I would never go to that island ever a day in my life.
No, exactly.
No, what?
I'm not a huntsman spider,
Not here for it. We're not here for it. No, no, no,
poisonous snakes everywhere you step.
nope. No, I'm
I
so
don't want to have to leave my house in Australia to be met with death every single day of my
right.
life.
There is no. You
And
don't
to
even have to leave your house. They'll get in the house. You don't.
and
No,
to
there is no need to go there. I don't know
and
why
to
people are.
people who may be watching that are in Australia that may say it's not as bad as you think. Okay,
Yes, it is.
thanks, but
Yes, it is. I
I'm very
literally
paranoid.
watched this guy who lives in Australia be like, okay, time to put on my shoes. And he goes, and there's a giant fucking spider. Like, no, no, what? No, no, we don't get that over here in America. No, I'm sorry. I love y'all in Australia. I really do, but I don't love your little friends. I don't love them at all. We're not friends. So, yeah.
You keep your spiders.
Keep everything. Keep all of it. Okay, we don't need any of it. That's why it's an island, because somebody was smart and was like, let's keep all of this on this one island.
I mean,
And humans was like, I'm gonna live here. Okay.
they got some pretty attractive people over there. I might not lie, they do.
Yeah, well, their life is limited because them damn animals, man. No, I'm scared.
Nah, I definitely would try to pet a
I would
dingo.
wake up in the middle of the night cuddling a snake, or the snake cuddling me, and it ain't cuddling me. It's trying to kill me.
The If I wake up in the middle of the night and there's a snake wrapped around me, I'm just gonna die.
That's why, there's nowhere good to go because, like, I'm trying to find the perfect place where there isn't spiders and like stuff like that. Nowhere, nowhere. There's.
Antarctica.
I'm not going there. I don't do snow.
You live in New York.
Yeah, I'm not staying here long.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're just rambling. It's an hour and 3 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, basically, um, that is our topic on land spirits, ancestors, and deities. If there's anything we didn't talk about because we ramble and talk on a bunch of nonsense and we're goofy, Um, yeah, comment
Which
below.
is you have not heard the half of it.
Comment down below what you want to talk about. If you guys have any like topics you guys want us to discuss, let us know. Until then, I have no idea what our next topic will be. You probably will not see us for like a month. Um, yeah, that's all I have to say. Anything you have to say, Rowan?
Nope. Peace out, Butterbeans.
Right. Okay. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day or night. I hope you had fun listening to us ramble. And until next time, guys, adios.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Oh wait, no wait. Yeah, I think you have to end it.
Yeah, I am.